What's up guys and welcome back. My name is Jake Towell and this is my art series where I share with you guys some art pieces throughout my career, and today we have something that I've been highly anticipating making a video on. This is a piece that I consider my top 3 favorite illustrations I've ever done in my entire career thus far, I must say. I'm really excited to present this piece as well because it's not only an illustration that I very much stylized in my own way, but also fan art, which I don't really do a lot of. I have created another Star Wars piece for May the 4th. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check that out. This one takes the cake when it comes to illustrations I've done for Star Wars, and I couldn't be any more excited to present to you Throne Vader. Again, this is a top 5, top 3 illustration for me. So many really cool Easter eggs in this, so make sure you stay tuned for the end of the video where I break down the entire rendered image. But without further ado, let's get right into that sketch phase. Okay, so as you can see in the sketch phase, I have things laid out exactly where I want them to be laid out. A lot of Easter eggs within it, so I wanted to make sure everything was included, everything was highlighted nicely, and everything fit in there. I think what I really honed in on, and you can tell, is Vader himself in this sketch phase. I wanted to make him as close to realistically depicted as possible, but as well as making it really obvious that it's in my style, and I think I did that super well, and I really made Vader look as menacing and scary as he really is. You can see in his cape a little bit, I kind of threw away a little. I didn't really have that honed in as much as I wanted to, but the most important aspects of this piece I definitely had fully figured out. So that's the sketch phase. Let's get right into the line work phase. Yeah, there we go. Super fleshed out. Just the line work phase in this piece looks really sick. I mean, look at all the details in Vader's helmet. I really wanted Vader himself to just be rendered absolutely perfect, and at the time I really think I did. I think he looks super cool, super scary, really menacing, and honestly a very good stylized depiction of Vader. You can also see that in his cape flowing up to the right. Obviously I finally rendered out from the sketch phase and made it look really nice, but we'll get to the specific details in the fully rendered image. But as you can see, the line work super clean, a lot of solid black, which helped with the mood I feel like in this piece. And overall, this is again one of my favorite pieces, as well as probably one of my most successful line work pieces. So what I've been long anticipating, and hopefully what you've been anticipating, is the fully rendered image. So let's get right into it. I present to you the fully rendered Throne Vader. It looks so sick. So many really cool little things we're going to talk about within this piece. A lot of really cool Easter eggs. Let's get right into Vader himself. Check out this helmet. I didn't want to just give him a basic standard look. I wanted him to be battered a little bit scarred. So here on his helmet we have a breakthrough. You can see his like dead, scarred, rotten skin underneath there. Obviously a really big fan of Star Wars, and what I really think is the coolest part about Sith, the bad guys, if you don't know anything about Star Wars, is their red and orange and yellowish eye, Sith eyes. I knew if I was putting Vader in this and I wanted to look as cool as possible, I wanted to depict his Sith eyes, having one of his eyepieces broken off where you can see his skin in his eyeball there, and he just looks absolutely menacing. I'm also really proud of the color I chose for his eyepiece. Adding this really cool deep maroon bloodish red color was cool, and also is a nice juxtaposition from the other side where you see his Sith eye. Going down, you can see his cape draping over his shoulder here, trying to keep as many details as accurate as possible. I looked at a lot of different images. Vader's depicted in many different ways, and lots of times his belt and his chest piece are depicted in different ways, which is interesting. So here is a very stylized, complete rendition of how I believe his chest piece looks. Here we have his like armored shoulder pads, which looks really cool, also adds to his overall look. We have his hand here dripping over his throne, and we also have probably one of my favorite aspects of this piece, this cape. Capes don't usually tear like this or split or rise like this, but I think it adds to the overall composition. I guess he is a little battered, so having his cape torn and ripped and kind of flared at the ends is accurate to the illustration I made here. Another thing I actually really love about this piece is the throne. The colors are pretty accurate. He has like a very greenish, bluish stone throne chair, and he's a big guy, right? And the throne is huge. I didn't want to take away from his menace and make him like look tiny. Throne is also twice as big as he is, so I think I did a really good job fitting both those things in and depicting them as well as possible to not give or take away too much of the character as well as the setting, and also keep it as accurate as possible. So if you don't don't know Star Wars at all and don't know Vader, he lives on the planet Mustafar. As you can see depicted in the back, Fortress Vader. It's such a badass structure within the Star Wars universe. I love how the mist of the lava becomes cloud and kind of enters that purple of the atmosphere. We have this very bright red lava to this darker maroon type cloudy sky that slowly becomes that purple we have in space. Breaks it apart from Vader at the bottom of the composition, as well as adds a lot of color. I knew Vader would be a lot of grays and blacks, which is something you've probably not seen me illustrate a whole lot of up until this point. So I really wanted to bring those colors out, and I have a lot of different things that kind of brought that color out. So another thing that I really love about this piece is this Star Destroyer. I think Star Destroyers are probably the coolest ships in Star Wars. And another thing I'm super proud of is the explosion from the hull. As you can see, I used a lot of different brushes here. Kind of a noisy brush to expand into the line work here. You can see the line work's actually getting a lot of this noise from this explosion. I think the closer you look, it gets a little crazy, but that actually caters to when you look at it from a distance without doing too much, creating a really vivid and obvious explosion from the ship itself. And we have a lot of smoke going up into the atmosphere here. A really bright blue from the thrusters in the back. Again, just adding more vivid colors, bringing your eye all the way around the composition. I wanted to make sure everything was seen. Again, adding more color as Vader is such a focal point in this piece. Moving into the middle, we have these planets. These two planets, which are very lore accurate. We have Tatooine here, and I really wanted to make that obvious with that really red sun, moon, planet. These don't really have any significance, but you know, Star Wars is a very crazy, hectic alien universe, so I made a Saturn with 2 rings, which is kind of funny. And then this is just another planet that I fit my logo into, and just again kind of adds all the color, brings it all together. Moving to the left side of the composition, here we have a lot of TIE fighters, which also, as well as the Star Destroyer, is some of my favorite ships in Star Wars. And here we actually have Vader's TIE fighter. So this is a Vader piece, you need Vader's whip, and here we have his TIE fighter, which is really cool, battling the Millennium Falcon in the top left. I'm not a huge fan of the Millennium Falcon, but I did want to add more explosions, so I had to bring in another ship from the good guys to kind of do so. And the Millennium Falcon is what I landed on, and I actually think it's a very well depicted Millennium Falcon, as small as it is. And it's really cool that it's shooting a very vivid green, which again just adds to the composition, brings your eye up here, brings your eye down here, blowing up that TIE fighter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Throne Vader. Again, I don't even know how many times I'm going to say it. I just really love this piece, and I hope you guys really think it's cool, as it's something that I've got a lot of positive feedback from. Lots of people asking for prints of this one. If you want prints of this one, linked in the description down below is my imprint store. You can get posters, small prints, whatever you want to do. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. Leave a comment down below what your favorite Easter egg and aspect of this piece is. Also, stay tuned for next episode. Next episode also has a piece that I would consider is in my top 3, top 5 favorite illustrations of all time. So definitely keep an eye out for that video. But as for this one, I really hope you guys did enjoy. I really love Star Wars. Hopefully this year I'll do another May the 4th. And if you enjoyed this video and my art, consider subscribing. If you made it this far into this video, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.